How's it going, everyone? Pierce Roberson here for Sports Minded. It's mid-July, which can only mean one thing. The Midsummer Classic is on its way. The MLB All-Star Game live from Queens, New York, tomorrow. The American League versus the National League. And every year when the MLB All-Star Game comes up, there's always two things that we think of. Yes, freaking yes, we get the home run derby. And is it really necessary to have the stipulation of the winning league in the All Star game getting home field advantage in the World Series? They developed this 11 years ago after the tie game in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was a bad look on Bud Selig, on the game of baseball, just after it was leaving the highest of heights. It was a really good game, actually, when Torrey Hunter Rod Barry Bonds of a home run. It's a really good game until it became a tie game. But that's the debate that always comes up, and it's kind of like with every major North American sport of the top four. You know, the debate of the All Star game is it a necessity? What rules should be involved, and they change ever so often, and it leaves fans wondering. Yes, although this is a fun event, is it honestly really necessary, or is there something that we can change to make this more fair? Starting with the MLB All Star Game, since it's tomorrow is the closest one. Excuse me. I don't necessarily think that the winning league should have home field advantage in the World Series. I think there's a different way they can do that. Use interleague play. Now that there's 15 teams in each league, since the Astros moved over to the AL West, I think that would be the perfect opportunity. Now that interleague play is year round, the league with the best record in interleague play gets home field advantage in the postseason. I don't think there's really a need to make the All Star game meaningful. It's an All Star game. It's there for fans to watch, to see the biggest and best stars in baseball and the most productive, and enjoy. They all congregate in one city for one weekend. So many events. You got the Futures game, you got the celebrity softball game, the home run derby, and then you got the All Star game. Let that just be the attraction alone. It doesn't need to be a stipulation of like it was fun for the first couple years. The stipulation of American League won, they have home field advantage, and the National League started winning. But now it's just it's tired. And there's no point of it. You really need to give an even bigger incentive when it comes to interleague play and make players play harder in interleague play. Not an exhibition game. They don't want to be there in the first place. Derek Jeter a few years ago opted out of the All-Star game. He's been to so many All-Star games, it doesn't matter to him. I believe it was Yadier Molina just yesterday opted out of the All-Star game. Well, no, actually, he's starting. Somebody else did. I can't remember who. But the perfect example would be Derek Jeter opting out of the All-Star game. He doesn't have to perform in the All-Star game anymore. That's not his job. He's done that enough times to the point it's not a factor for him. Yeah, of course, he wants home field advantage, but make home field advantage matter in the games that matter, not the one game that's an exhibition. That doesn't matter. Make it an extra towards interleague play. Make it an extra incentive towards interleague play. And I think the biggest All-Star debate is the Pro Bowl. The thing with the Pro Bowl, yes, it's also like in baseball, but just more enhanced, where players, they don't want to play in the Pro Bowl. They don't want to have anything to do with the Pro Bowl. Picking up a check, that's fine. Going to Hawaii, that's straight, but I don't want to risk my future career, concussions, torn ACLs. I don't want to risk that on an exhibition game. It's even worse in football because of the risk of injury. That's why all the players opt out. And nobody wants to play defense. Nobody wants to tackle. Owen Daniels, this past year, talked about Tim Jennings in the All-Star game, went high towards him. There's no competition in the Pro Bowl. It's a high scoring offensive contest. There's no defense. It's not an actual game. So it's less meaningful to the players, and it's boring to the fans. And they're considering getting rid of it. I'm indifferent. I don't watch the Pro Bowl at all anyway. Usually because I'm gearing up towards the Super Bowl. It was that the Pro Bowl was the week after the Super Bowl. And the players who won the Super Bowl, if they got elected to the Pro Bowl, they could play in the Pro Bowl. Now the Pro Bowl is in between that 2 week gap, in between the conference title games and the Super Bowl, where they don't allow the players in the Super Bowl. You don't have to go to the Pro Bowl, prepare for the Super Bowl. We'll have alternates for you, but still nobody wants to show up unless they want to really collect a check, or unless it's like their first Pro Bowl. And they just go for the experience, take their family to Hawaii, pick up a paycheck. That's it. They can get rid of the Pro Bowl and just have the All Pro selections be the one thing that matters. I don't. It's also no need for a Pro Bowl. We like it. We like to have one. Just say, hey, I was a Pro Bowler. But I mean, that's what all pros are for. Players don't want to play it. Don't let them play. Just don't have one. I would say the most, in terms of a game, the most fun for fans is the NHL All-Star Game. And people will probably look at me crazy like that. Yes, I have been on my hockey trip. My Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. But that's beside the point. The NHL All-Star Game for a while has been one of the more fun events of the hockey schedule, the hockey year. There will not be an NHL All-Star Game in the upcoming season. Just like it wasn't this past year, obviously, because of the lockout. 2014, there won't be an All-Star Game because of the Olympics. So players will be gearing up for the Olympics and get ready to go to Sochi. But just skip the competitions. The competitions are made. We'll get to the competition in a second. But the game, it's a pickup game. They pick two stars, Daniel Alfredsson, Steven Stamkos, and they pick the players that they want on their team. They're voted as all-stars, and it's a pickup game. It's a pickup hockey game that takes it back to when you were a kid playing on a pond, just playing pickup hockey. That's what it's all about. That's the fun thing about the All-Star Game. It's that realism. It takes you back, kind of like the Winter Classic. It takes you back to a time before you had all the riches, before everything, and makes it more fun again. Yeah, the degree of difficulty of injury is high, but the players don't care about that. They care about being there in the moment at the NHL All-Star Game, having fun, hobnobbing with your fellow countrymen and your fellow hockey players. That's what it's all about, and that's what makes it the most fun. The competitions are fun also. You got the fastest skater, fastest shot. They got a shootout competition. This is literally one of the most fun. And unless you really watch hockey, you won't necessarily care. The NBA All-Star Game, it's fun, but it's fun to see the spectacle of it. It's fun to see the flashy dunks and nice passes, just because there's no defense at all. It's a 150 to 145 point game. It's never a real good battle, other than once it hits the fourth quarter. But I think it's the extra stuff that goes into the All-Star Game, the slam dunk derby, the slam dunk competition, of course. We used to be the rookie sophomore challenge, and that's kind of like the futures game, or just a pickup game. Charles Barkley and Shaq pick players, rookies and sophomores, and they go play. But it's that makes it fun as well. So NHL, NBA All-Star Game are obviously the most fun All-Star games. MLB needs to do something about having that that rule. Whoever wins gets home field. They need to do away with that and just make it an interleague thing. And then the Pro Bowl, I can take it or leave it. Before I go off, I would like to mention that the MLS All-Star Game is also fun. The fun thing about it is there's not two teams of MLS stars. No, there's just one team of All-Stars, and they go against some of the best teams in Europe. AC Milan, Manchester United. It's a great game. It's great for the fans. They get to see players that they'll never see other than international play or on TV playing in Europe, and it's fun for everybody. But that's all I have for today. Keep following Sports Minded. Follow me on Twitter at ChicagoMadeSean, and just keep in love with sports.